Well done on making it this far already. Now, in this lecture, we're gonna have a look at the start and the end dates for the campaign. And we're gonna go through all of the different options for the entire ad setup. That means the campaign, the ad group, the ad, and even keywords later on, step by step together. And the next one on the list is the start and end date. So let's get right into it. Now, being in the campaign settings here already, we know it's the campaign settings, we can see it from the upper left corner here. Scrolling down, before we move into targeting and audiences, there's a button here that says show more settings. And that doesn't mean that they are advanced settings. There's simply more settings and more things for us to know about and go through. Click here, we get 3 more settings. And first off is the start and end dates. And they're very self-explanatory, I think. Now, it's basically when do you want this campaign, this ad campaign to start? And if you leave it the way it is, it's gonna start right now, and you set the end date on none, then it's just gonna keep running until you cancel it. And to be honest, this is the only thing that we ever use, for the simple reason that you're putting money into your ads, right? And because you're putting money into your ads, you're also monitoring it all the time to seeing how it performs, to seeing if you should change any of the bidding. If you don't know what bidding is, don't worry, we're gonna go through that. But basically to see how the ad is performing, and if it's performing well, you might want to increase or let it be, and if it's not performing very well, you're gonna want to terminate it. So the vast majority of the time, I mean, to be honest, every single time, I think you should just, start it when you start and then just keep it going until you find that it's not profitable anymore, or, if you have your own schedule going on. But we never do set. You could, of course, set a certain date if you only want to have a trial for, say, 3 days and you're running some statistics to see how it's going to perform. You could go ahead and click on select a date and then set that date when you want it to end. Now, similarly, if let's say that you know that there is a sale coming up, or that you want to set out an ad on a certain day to celebrate something, you could preset that already here. So let's say it's gonna be next week, on Tuesday for us then. So I could set it like this: on Tuesday next week, maybe I'm gonna go on vacation, maybe I'm gonna go away or work on a project, but then you know that this ad is gonna start then. So there can be benefits for this, but honestly, it's not something that we ever use, and just keep it simple, leave it like this. It's gonna start right away, and end date, none. You can leave it running, see how it performs, and then make a judgment call from there. That's the way we prefer to do it. Now, there are some couple of more settings in here. We have campaign URL options and dynamic search ads settings. And we're gonna go through those 2 in the upcoming lectures, but I want to tell you that if you're a complete beginner, and also if perhaps you do have a little bit of experience, but you have a smaller website, in other words, you don't have a huge website with a lot of traffic, and you don't have a massive budget, I recommend that you skip these 2 lectures and move on to the targeting and audiences, where we're gonna talk about locations. Locations is a huge deal setting up, and there's a lot of best practices and tips and tricks for it. Because these 2, they're not beginner friendly, they're not at all necessary, and unless you have a great budget or you have a huge website, you're not gonna need any of those. But if you don't get information overload and you're curious, then of course follow along to the next lecture, and we're gonna start talking about campaign URL options. So see you there.